Appreciate you guys coming with us today. We thank you so much for joining us
Yes.
here on our episode today. Today we're going to be talking about the principles of responsibility and accountability. I'm Broker J3,
And this is Dr. V.
and again we welcome you guys here to J&B Live. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just jump right into it. We're going to jump right into it, guys. Appreciate you guys. Okay, going to go ahead and get into it. All right, Dr. B. First of all, with this subject here, we're talking about the principles of responsibility and accountability. You know, we all know specifically what those two words mean. I'm going to let you go ahead and get it jump started since you're our life coach. You can go ahead
Oh,
and get it
gosh.
going.
Well, mainly what I want to discuss is how, really this came to my mind because of the fact that there's a scripture, and it's Luke 12:48. It's talking about too much is given, much is required. And so a lot of my day-to-day activities, what I do from day to day, how I talk to people is always grounded in the Bible. That's just who I am. And so this has just been on my mind for quite some while because a lot of people do have those certain gifts and they don't share those gifts. They become selfish with those gifts. So we wanted to discuss this today and just take a look at what you're doing or what we're doing, what we can do better. As I mentioned earlier, what I'm always trying to do is become a better version of myself.
Exactly, and I think that's what we're all trying to do, and we have to start learning how to take responsibility for the things that we do, things that we say, how we deal with people, how we treat people, and that's really what we want to get into today, and talk about how those factors work very important in our lives as we move forward from our day to day things that we do.
So let's go ahead and move a little further. And I want to challenge everyone to examine your life and how are you using the blessings that God has given you. God has blessed us tremendously, all of us. When you wake up in the morning, that is a blessing for God. When you open your eyes, that's a blessing in God. The use of your hands, your sight, all of that are gifts from God. And so those are things that God has blessed us with. He's entrusted us with those things, even knowledge, those of you who have educated yourself. But let's break this down. And how are you using your blessings that God has given you to help someone else?
Exactly. And that's what the main key is, because when God give you those gifts, he expects you to use them. A lot of times we don't use the gift. Sometimes we don't even know what our gift is from God, because I think that we're a little disconnected from him in some sense.
That is true. So, you don't want to ignore your level of accountability. Everybody is accountable for something. Everybody, even in your job, your day to day life, you're accountable to your employee. But most importantly, you are accountable to God. So, how are you accountable in your day to day lives? How does that affect you?
But a lot of times people feel like, well, this person did me wrong. This person did me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm justified for what I do. But at the same time, you have to realize, even when someone does you wrong, you still have to take accountability to some degree. This reminds us of the knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
But with knowledge comes responsibility as
It
well.
does. It does. It does. And so, if you are discussing this topic with your children or your teenagers, and I'm thinking about the young black men who now are just doing stupid stuff to land in jail, and they're not even thinking about the consequences. And some of their responses are, well, because they did it to me. Just think about the gangs. They're fighting each other. They did it to me. But regardless, you are accountable for your action. If you did something wrong, I don't care if they did it to you or not. You're still accountable.
Exactly. And we have to take deliberate steps to educate ourselves in all aspects of our lives, whether it's spiritually, financially, emotionally, intellectually.
Mm-mm.
We have to take that responsibility. No, like Doc B said, it doesn't matter what anyone did to you or whatever. You still have to take your own accountability for your actions.
And so one of my favorite quotes is, you are what you eat. Some people, say it differently, but if you're hanging around people that don't want anything in life, so what do you think you're going to want in life? You have to hang around people that want something.
Exactly. Like-minded people.
Like-minded people. Birds of a feather flock, same feather flock together. So you want to be around those people because guess what? You can encourage each other. But if all the kids these teenagers or young adults want to do is smoke weed all day, guess what? You're going to fall into that same trap. That's all you're going to be doing is smoking weed every day.
But sometimes you have to ask yourself, are you actually seeking wisdom? Are you actually aligning yourself with the right kind of people around you, that encourage growth? Those things are very important. Are you living up to the knowledge and the opportunities that you've been given? You have to ask yourself these things.
Yes. And so from the takeaway from that is you want to hang around people that have the same knowledge, same habits, some good habits, something that's going to uplift you, that's going to encourage you to be a better person. You're required to do that. To much is given, much is required. You're required to do that.
Exactly. And also you have to also realize that in some cases, for some of the guys, people that's out there, if God has blessed you, it doesn't matter what it is financially or whatever the case may be. If God has blessed you, are you sharing those blessings with other people? And we're not necessarily talking about no money blessings. We're talking about, are you sharing that knowledge that can be able to help someone else? Because keeping that knowledge to yourself, and you may see someone that may need it. Now, if we're not talking about the people that don't want to hear you, but there's some people out there that really need to get that knowledge because they don't know. A lot of them don't have that role model,
yes,
that positive influence in their life, and that could be you.
Yeah. And so God recognizes those gifts. These are the gifts that he's given us, but they're not just for our own benefit. They are for us to share and bless others. That's very important. All of this that we have can be gone in the blink of an eye. It can. I've seen people that have the best jobs, but they don't have anything to show for it.
Exactly, because God calls us to be humble.
He calls us to be humble, and he causes us to bless others. And so some people, when they get all of this fame and they have all of this money, they're arrogant. They don't want to bless nobody else. They just want to keep it all for themselves.
I actually heard a lot of people say, I did all this by myself. Sometimes they get so high and mighty where you feel like, God didn't do anything for me. I did this myself. I got it from the bottom, made it to the top. Nobody helped me. I did this all alone. And I'm going to tell you, as somebody that's been there myself, nobody becomes great without somebody helping them
along the way.
That's the only way. No matter who you are, what position you hold, you needed somebody else's help. You didn't get there by yourself.
Yes. So I want you to reflect on this question. If God has blessed you, how are you using those blessings to make a difference in someone else's life? What are you doing? This is a new year. This is a perfect question for the new year. What are you doing to bless someone else? As I mentioned earlier, God giveth and God taketh away.
And like we always say, guys, this is an interactive podcast. So if you guys want to chime in and add or take away from the podcast, feel free. If you guys are some of those ones that's out there that's actually giving back, trying to make a positive influence out there, let us know. Tell us your story. We'd love to hear it.
And ways that you can help others is, if you're not sure, this is the perfect platform for you to chime in and leave something in the comment section. But you can always do volunteer work with the Boys and Girls Club. You can go and be a mentor. There's all type of ways where you can give back and serve others. Not others serving you, serve others.
Exactly. And I think That's something that's very important. We have to have that self-reflection. We have to learn how to service others, and we also have to learn how to avoid complacency. It's a lot of times where selfishness comes in, where we fail to use our gifts. That goes back to what I was saying before. Sometimes you feel like you did it so much on your own that you don't feel like you need to help anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, that's where you can have missed opportunities that can actually fulfill your own purpose.
Yes. So you do want to avoid becoming so comfortable in one certain area. And sometimes God challenges us. It's the hard stuff sometimes that makes people uncomfortable. And He challenges us so that we can become better individuals. And so you do need to know that everybody is good at something. It
Exactly.
doesn't matter who you are. You are good at something.
Living
And
with purpose.
yeah, so you want to live that with that purpose, know your purpose and fulfill that purpose.
Exactly. So while we're talking about this, Doc B, what is something recently that you have done that fulfill that need or that purpose to help others?
Okay, so I do believe in giving. So right now I'm in part of a women's organization and we help out in the community. We sponsor the Juneteenth celebration every year. And I believe in education, so that's my background as well. So, I believe in educating people so they know their history and just giving back. And also, I volunteer at the Head Start school. I also volunteer at the little elementary school that's in this area as well.
That sounds absolutely amazing, Doc B.
Yes, yes. So, how are you giving back?
I'm actually not in so many organizations that you are, but as you guys know, the broker J3 in my name is because I am a licensed broker in the state of Georgia, Florida, Alabama, and South Carolina. Now, what I do is I do host a free seminar for people that are looking for ways to invest or thinking about buying or purchasing a house,
Mm-hmm.
or even if you just started a business and you're looking for a location for your business. I do have a workshop that's absolutely free. I don't charge anything. Like a lot of these people out here that want that $2.99,
Mm-hmm.
$3.99
Yeah.
to get that knowledge, but I give that knowledge free. So if you guys want to know about that workshop, feel free to send an email, in the link in our bio, or comment to let us know, hey, I'd like to know about your workshop, and we'll definitely get back to you, and I'll give you the information so that you guys can get that free knowledge.
Yeah, that's excellent. That is a service that he's providing that is free. So those of you who are in the market, I would definitely take advantage of that. But we're doing things that are free, that we're not charging anybody for those services. But how are you serving? We are
Exactly.
all called to live with that sense of responsibility and purpose, knowing that God holds us. He holds us accountable for how we've used those gifts that He's given to us.
So you know what, Dr. B, what we should do is we challenge you guys today. Don't waste your gifts that God has given you.
Mm.
Embrace the responsibility that comes with your blessing. Use your time, talents, and the resources and make a good impact for good, knowing that when you give and reflect your heart to God, it serves a great purpose.
Yes. And one thing I do want to add is some of you may say, well, I don't have a lot, I don't have anything. But you would be surprised. Whatever you have, the smallest amount of knowledge, just talking to someone, you just don't realize some people even appreciate a smile. The
That's
smallest thing could be a blessing to someone else.
that is so true, Doc B, because a lot of people don't realize sometimes it's just encouraging words. I've been in situations before where someone had asked me and said, well, Jay, this is what's going on in my life right now, and I'm just really just trying to do this and do that. And sometimes it's hearing somebody out. sometimes they may not need your advice. Sometimes they just may need that ear to listen while they're venting. And sometimes they may need some advice. So when you hear someone opening up to you and trying to tell you something that's personal, listen first. And if you can give some positive advice, give positive advice. Now, I'm saying this for a reason, because it's a lot of times where situations are not really going the greatest for a lot of people. And say, for instance, you just had a breakup. Say the breakup was real bad, they cheated on you or whatever the case may be. And now you have someone coming to you telling you, hey, I'm dealing with something right now. I'm dealing with a breakup right now. And I just need some advice on what to do. Don't use what's happening with you right now. If they're talking about a particular situation that may be close to you, don't do that. That's the last thing that you should do. What you want to do is try to be positive and give them an unbiased advice on what they can do, because sometimes some situations are not as serious as a lot of people take it, especially if they're in a relationship where cheating wasn't involved. Maybe it could be a misunderstanding or sometimes just simple miscommunication. And without you totally understanding that, just think about it, because you don't want to ruin a happy home just because yours didn't work out so well.
That's true. And so I've been in that situation, giving advice, lending an ear. So many times I've lost track. But when I do that, I try, as Broker J3 just said, I try to keep it positive. And, ultimately, it's that person's responsibility how they move forward. But I try to keep it positive, and then I always say be optimistic, because it's so much negativity in the world that I want them to make an unbiased decision as to how they move forward. But you are lending an ear, and that's helping that person. That's a way of service as well.
So, guys, we know that today's podcast may seem a little different, but what we want you guys to understand that we have to take accountability for our actions. We have to be responsible for the things that we do. It's so many things that's going on right now in the world. You still have those fires out there in California,
Yes.
just burning everything down. And you got some amazing people out there that's doing some great things. I was reading an article about Whoopi Goldberg. Her house burned down. I think that's worth $10 million, and she's actually giving out money, helping people that have suffered through the fire. So, if her gift is philanthropy at this moment in time where she can be able to give, provide to help people out, it's things like that we have to think about. You may not have a lot of money, but you may have a lot of wisdom. You may not have a lot of money, but you may have a big house where it may be a relative that may be in need, or a good friend that may be in need, where they may need a place to stay. Even if it's just for a short period of time, just something to help them to get back on their feet. Take all these things in consideration. There's too much stuff going on right now,
Yeah.
Doc B.
And there's no cost to pray. So for those individuals that lost their lives in California, you can definitely pray for them, because they're going to need a lot of prayer, because some of them, they have nothing. I remember seeing one of the interviews where the lady said that they just had the clothing that was on their backs. They didn't have anything. And so we definitely want to pray for them. And these are times that's kind of scary for me, because a whole town really just demolished. And I don't know where the fire department was at that time. I don't know how that happened to where it got so out of control, but it is, and that's where we are. So if back to the topic, being of service to others or serving others, we can definitely pray for those
You know,
individuals.
we have one of our followers. Hope I don't kill your name, Davy Vaughn,
Okay.
and
Hey.
he was saying that people don't understand, but specifically as a man, because yes, a man will give his all, but as man, it's not easy to open up. And you know what? You're absolutely right. As a man, it's not that
Yeah.
easy for us to open up. Sometimes our women have to pull it out of us. And
Yes.
when that's not the case, sometimes I hate using this word, but I have to. Sometimes it's our pride. Especially depending on what the situation is. Sometimes it's hard for us to go to somebody. Like, example, say if you were someone that was financially set and you was doing well, and then you took a loss. It's hard for you to go to one of your friends or family members and say, hey, I'm short on my car payment, I'm short on my lights, or whatever the case may be, can you help me out? A lot of times, that pride will beat you up and even prevent your blessing, because you're more concentrated on thinking about what they may think of you. And that could prevent you from getting that blessing, because sometimes you have to open your mouth. What they said, closed mouth don't get fed,
That
and
is correct.
so
That is correct.
so we do know it's hard. And as a man personally, I'm telling you, I've been in that situation, and someone had to tell me I had to let go of that pride. If I'm gonna get back on my feet, I gotta let go of that pride, and I have to open up and tell people what's going on, because some people may not know.
Yeah.
You know,
And I can speak for, I do have three sons. I've shared that with y'all. I have a 35-year-old, I have a 33-year-old son, and I have a 29-year-old son. And they do, particularly my middle son, likes to keep everything inside. And he often says, well, Mom, that's not fair, or how he's been treated is not fair. And you know what? It's not how particularly black men are not treated fairly. And it's not going to get any easier. The next 4 years may be tough. I'm not going to say anything else to that, but it may be tough. But no, it's not fair. But that is the world that we live in right now. Can we change it? No, not right now. You can't. You can try, but you've got to educate yourself and get yourself in a position to where you know how to handle if you're not being treated fairly. People are going to mistreat you all the time, but it's
exactly.
how you react to that treatment.
Exactly. And Debbie Vaughn, we appreciate you
Yes.
commenting. We tell you guys all the time, this is an interactive podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We actually enjoy when our followers and subscribers get involved, because
Thank you.
we
Much
we
love.
we want to bring you guys stories out. A lot of times we all watch these podcasts, and
Mm-hmm.
they're interviewing people and they're talking, and a lot of times, you're not in their story. You're
Yeah.
just watching their story. So
Mm-hmm.
we give you guys the opportunity to be able to be a part of some of the stories that we talk about. And if you guys see yourselves in our stories, please
Yes.
chime in. Interact with us, talk
Yes.
back and forth to us. So we want to engage
Yes.
with you guys, to let you be involved. So we appreciate you engaging with us. And you're right. Sometimes it's hard for us men to open up, but hey, I'm telling you right now, you know, chalk it up a little bit and just try your best to open up, especially if you're in need of something. Just
Yeah.
open your mouth and let someone know. Make sure it's someone that you trust.
Okay.
And
So shout out to Mona Love, Chef Z Gourmet. Shout out to those. Thank y'all for joining us. Pharrell, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you guys' support. Much love to you. Thank you so much. There's Laya Sharon, Bank Rolfiness. Thank you guys. Cutie Diva. I like that. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your support. We would not be able to do this without your support. So we definitely thank you. We hope you're going to chime in with us. We're going to go live definitely every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. And we may decide to go live even more days. So what
Right.
we want you to do is to subscribe, like, or however that, so you'll be able to see whenever we do go live, because we're going to do more.
And that's Eastern Standard Time
Eastern, yes.
for you guys, because we know a lot of you guys are in different time zones, and some of you guys are even across the world. So that's Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. And as Doc B said, we may find times where we go
Yes.
live in between that and
Yes.
around that, but we will notify you guys. But if you guys follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel, make sure you hit that notifications bell, so that when we
Yes.
go live, it lets you guys know that we are here, so you can jump on and follow us. We want to make this all about you guys. This is not about Broker J3 and Doc B. It's about our subscribers and followers. And right now, is that Love?
Mana Love, yes.
Yeah, Mana Love. She's going off right now.
Yes.
She's showing a lot of
Thank
love and
you.
support. We
Thank
really
you. We
appreciate
appreciate you.
These are the things that we're talking about.
Yes.
It's all about you guys.
Yes.
As our topic is talking about today, taking responsibility and ownership of the things that you do. Sometimes people need to hear these things. You never know what's going on in someone else's life.
Yes.
Someone can be on the brink of suicide, and it doesn't matter if you was having a hard day, and this person, you just notice something is wrong with them. Sometimes get whatever is happening to you out of your mind, and sometimes just say something positive to somebody.
Yeah.
Just let them know, hey, everything's gonna be all right. Trust in God if you believe in God,
Yes,
or if you don't believe in God, hey, you always got family members, somebody to reach out to, because I'm telling you, there are times where I know I changed someone's life just because I said something positive to them and I made their day. You guys can do the same thing. Sometimes you just have to open your mouth so that you can help make somebody's day.
And just remember, you have a moral responsibility. You have a godly responsibility to help someone. Too much is given, much is required.
And we definitely appreciate that.
Yes.
Today's podcast was really deep, because you guys don't understand. Our podcasts come from our supporters. We don't pull these things out the wind. Sometimes we get these requests, and hey, can you guys talk about this? Can you guys talk about that? Or this has been on my mind. And that's when me and Doc B get together and say, hey, this is what our subject's going to be today. We have a list of subjects from some of our supporters and our followers and subscribers.
So please comment in the comment section.
Right.
Anything that you want us to discuss, or if there's something that's on your mind and you just want to share it, please do so.
And always send us a message. Our links are always in all of our bios. Let us know. And for some of our subscribers and followers out there, trust me, we are going to get to your subject soon.
We will.
As Doc B said, if we need to, we will go live more often so that we can get these subjects out. And we'll definitely give a shout out to you guys, out there, to let people know, these are important things that people want to talk about.
Okay, so thank you, Juliet, Jackpot, Levites.
Yes,
thank
Mona.
you.
Trust in Him. Exactly.
Thank you so much. Yes.
In
trust
fact, that
only in Him.
that actually was one of our podcasts. If you go to our YouTube page, we actually have a podcast called Trust in Him. It's actually one of our thoughts of the day. Check it out. It's under our playlist Thoughts of the Day. You guys will love that. You guys can go back and check out some of the previous ones.
Okay. One person they want to talk about how long will it take to find my Mr. Right. Stay tuned, to be announced.
But and see, I'm telling you, you guys don't know how amazing this is, because we actually have 2 podcasts previously where it talks about finding your mate, because finding your mate contrasts a few things. first of all, you have to make sure that you are ready yourself
We'll
for
save
for
that.
your okay.
Yes, we'll save
Okay,
that.
Doc B wants to wait on that.
Yes, but it's coming.
But we'll definitely come back to that, and we'll have a good segment. And we want you to be a part of that, Mona. When we let you guys know that this is going to be the subject, we want you to be a part of that, because especially if we come back for you now.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Probably, for joining in as well. So this really comes to a close to today's podcast. You want to close out, Broker J3?
Sure. Guys, again, we appreciate you guys.
Yes, thank you.
We appreciate your support.
Yes.
We've been doing this for a little while, and we just thank everybody that has let us know that this is the podcast that they wanted us to present. And we're going to keep on doing it. It's going to get better and better. The topic's going to get more explosive. We are going to start doing a live panel where we're going to start allowing you guys to come on live with us as we talk about these things. So we're really excited about that, and look forward to it. But for now, we're going to go ahead and leave you guys until next time. We'll be back Tuesday. Unless Doc B feels that we can get together and bring another 30-45 minute segment to you guys before then, but we will let you know. And again, I'm Broker J3.
I'm Dr. B.
And we appreciate you guys for joining J&B Live. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you.